We knew that the ball was going from the outside inside, the taking out the crosses. It meant that we had to create in tight spaces through the middle, and we needed players there with that characteristics. This is the game we're talking about, is the cup final, the Dutch FA Cup final against Ajax. Played in Rotterdam, always in the National Stadium, and it's the fourth time we played Ajax, and it's obviously the biggest rivalry in town. So to play a cup final against them was a big thing, and so everything leading up to it was focused on that. I choose Joël Drommel to play all the cup games from the start. He didn't start in the league, but all the cup games until the final he played, did really well. I thought that he deserved that chance to play because he's shown great quality in training, and his attitude was fantastic. And I think with his age, he's also one for the future. So I gave him that opportunity and all the confidence that goes along with it to start all the cup games. So Drommel in goal. Right back, Jordan These. Jordan is he played a lot of games as well in his career as a centre back. I liked it a lot to use him as a right back because many times we did a 3 build-up and he came a little bit more central. With the other centre backs shifting a little bit, and the left back goes into midfield or higher up. He has a great pass, and his passing options get bigger when he's playing more on the inside. He has a very good cross, very good passer of the ball, good pace. In that game, it was also important to play against Bergwijn with his pace and to handle that. André Ramalho, centre-back, one of the leaders of the team, experienced, fantastic professional, very, very strong in the duels, headers, one-to-one duels. And as I said, one of the leaders of the team who led the team through difficult phases that we faced also during the season, but also in this game. Left centre-back, Jarrad Brandtwaite. I don't have to introduce him to the public now, because he's doing fantastic at Everton, obviously. He had a fantastic development in the season, especially the second half of the season. He showed great quality on and off the ball. The touches he has with the left and right in the build-up, but also defensively, the duels he was winning, and also with the pace he has, because we like to press high and be high up on the pitch. So you have to be on the halfway line, so he wasn't afraid to do that. So fantastic centre, them two. They developed as a very good centre during the second half of the season, leading up to the final. Left back, Patrick van Aanholt, played also in Premier League, of course. Experienced guy, one of the leaders as well in the dressing room. Attacking left back, good on the ball, aggressive, great pace. Good in crossing as well, which against Ajax was one of the main focus points to beat them. 2 players in the midfield, 2 holding midfielders. One, the more holding midfielders, Ibrahim Sangaré, obviously now at Forest. And the other one, Joey Veerman. He's more an 8. He's the one more who comes and goes box to box, very good on the ball. Ibrahim, fantastic in winning the ball, in duels, and also decent in the build-up play and playing forward. So very a duo that's very complementary in that sense. Wings, Johan Bakayoko on the right wing. He came through the ranks with me when I coached the under-19s and the second team in the championship, and together in the first team. The first half of the season, there was Noni Madueke there still, and on the left side, Cody Gakpo. and we had to sell him on in winter. After the winter, it was Bakayoko playing here, and I played Xavi Simons on the other wing. That was more on the outside without the ball, because with the ball he tends to come inside, playing in the half spaces, and with Patrick van Aanholt going higher up and attacking there. It was a good partnership on the left side. And the 9 and the 10, they played behind or next to each other. Gustil, a very dynamic midfielder. Is very good in pressing the ball in defense and arriving in the box. He has a very good timing, especially in the blind side of defenders. He's attacking the box and very good in finishing crosses. Luc de Jong, our captain, the leader of the team, a guy with a lot of experience and without the ball, very, very clever in recognizing the build-up of the opponent and how to handle the pressure in that sense. Also with the ball, teams that press us high, we have always Luke to find and hold up play and third man underneath, and we can play on. Of course, his trademark are his headers, arguably one of the best headers in football. His timing, his runs he's making, and the connection he can make with the head, but also with the feet to finish the passes, especially crosses. He's outstanding in that sense. That was our lineup. Out of possession, we planned to be in a mid-block in a 4-4-2 formation. We knew Ajax is a team in possession with a lot of rotation. They like to rotate the wings with the right back higher and the winger Berghuis inside to create a double 10 and a double 6, like a square in the middle. So a lot of rotations also on the left side. They did a similar thing with Bergwijn, and Tadic went to the right half space, and Hato got a bit higher up. Got midfielders dropping in to collect the ball and to create a 3v2 in this situation. So we had to solve a lot of tactical situations in the game. As I said, the partnership, Luc de Jong and Gustil, were very clever in that. And what was the main thing in the game, that Ajax had a lot of possession around us. We didn't really bother with that. Sometimes we pressed with the 9 and the 10, forcing the ball out and go out with 11 to press and really shift over and attack the ball and try to win the ball in this area and try to counter-attack straight away, finishing on the side, obviously, where the left back in this was higher and there's a lot of space on the other side. Then again, they had a lot of possession. Where we were really aggressive was when the ball was played to the sides. We were close on the wingers, and when the ball was played in our block, we were really pressing the ball, forcing the ball backwards. Of course, Brobbey is a very strong player with Tadic. He's also very good in holding the ball. So that's where Jared and Ramalho were key in this game, in the personal duels with Brobbey, also with Tadic, because sometimes we had to be 1v1 against them, 1v1 here, 1v1 there, and our two midfielders were on top of their midfielders, Klaassen and Grealish. That made it a game with a lot of duels, with a lot of transition moments. In that sense, we wanted to win the second balls and try to play from there and open up again to play our games. So from the mid-block, keep the tight spaces in midfield, and when we had to drop, we had to be really compact in a 4-4-2 in our own half to defend really well We did that very well. We conceded a goal through an own goal, but in the 90 minutes plus extra time, we didn't concede a single shot on target. So we were controlling the game, although we had a lot less of possession against Ajax that day. The moments of possession where we kept the ball after winning it a little bit longer and get in our formation to attack. We'd like to be in a build-up with three, with These, Ramalho in the middle and Brandwaite on the side. Ajax are very man-orientated, but they changed that a little bit in the final. I think in the previous games, because they were so man-orientated, that there were a lot of 1v1 duels, and we managed to reach the sides through the middle. So going through the middle and then through the sixes and the tens, the double 10 and the double 6, we used to get the wingers in place. And especially, for example, the Charity Shield game, the first game of the season, my first competitive game with the first team, we had Cody Gakpo on the left side. And Cody was fantastic in 1v1s, and he also knew when he was cutting into his right foot. Then we had Luc de Jong, Fustil, and in that game also Bakayoko, who were playing against Timber and Blind and Wijndal. And yeah, these two guys are 6'2". Bakayoko not that long, but Blind and Timber and Wijndal had a less height. Of course, it's important that this player is making a connection, a run off the ball here. Or the midfielder is running with him and he cannot make a 2v1 against Gakpo. Or the center back is taking the man from the number 6. That means that here we are in a 3v2 situation in front of the goal, and that's where the situation that we wanted to be in. So I think, especially in the 3-5 that we were able to beat them in the Charity Shield, that we made the difference with crosses. Gakpo with a couple of assists on Fustil arriving on the blind side of players in the box, and Ajax players drop quite early, so it gives the runners a chance, to gain momentum and arrive at the spaces that we wanted. In the final, that dynamics changed because they were really tight on our wingers, and one of the sixes were covering. So that means that this is then Van Aanholt as a left back on the ball. That means they were really tight on him, and one of the sixes was making a 2v1. So really forced the ball again inside, and here they were shifting to cover the spaces. That meant that we had to play outside, inside, and depending on the tight spaces to make via combination play to create chances. Also on this side, similar thing. Hato really tight on Bakayoko, the shifting, and the 6 that was covering, especially because he was left-footed, taking the cross out of the game and forcing the ball inside. And the quality of Till is arriving for crosses, not so much in creating in small spaces. So that was where they did well, to take out the crosses that gave us the wins basically in previous games. Of course, on the bench during the second half with the coaching staff, we analyzed the problem, and we were discussing the change to make. And we knew that the ball was going from the outside inside, the taking out the crosses. It meant that we had to create in tight spaces through the middle, and we needed players there with that characteristics. So we made the change to Anwar El Ghazi. He came in for Johan Bakayoko, a right-footed winger. He can go more on the outside, so the doubling is not so much of an issue. He can go outside and come with early crosses, because we still had Luc de Jong there. We wanted to give the momentum of the crosses, and here we wanted players that can create in small spaces. So Xavi Simons came from this position to the right half space, and Thorgan Hazard came in on the wing position in the partnership with Van Aanholt. Van Aanholt higher and Thorgan Hazard on the inside. So two number 10s, really number 10s in quality, and in a play where the ball came from outside inside, with Simons with an individual action, and ball in the box where Hazard arrived for the equalizer. That was obviously a big moment for us to get back into the game. Ajax also made changes, of course. Bessie came in on the left side of left centre back, Alvarez on the right. They put Timber in midfield with Klaassen, Tadic as a 10, two quick wingers, Conceição and Bergwijn, and of course Brobbey up front. This threat of the speed of Bergwijn and Conceição, very good dribbler on the ball. Brobbey always a threat in his holding up play, and also very quick. Tadic, so we evened each other out, I think, in the final, and controlled each other. Two moments where the goals came from, and not even also in extra time. There weren't a lot of chances. I make a substitution with Luc de Jong for Fabio Silva as well in the end. Xavi Simons I changed as well. I put Veerman on 10 and Guti, holding midfield player with Sangaré. That also provided the practice of the penalties in the week leading up to the final, where we knew who were our best penalty takers. And especially in number 4 and number 5, we knew through research that the number 4 and 5 is obviously the most important ones to take. And we had Fabio Silva and Anwar El Ghazi to be in the 4 or the 5. And they both came up to me. They said, "Gaffer, I'm 5." And Fabio was first, so he was 5th. I said to Anwar, you can't be 5th anymore, you're 4th. So in that sense, we had all the players on the pitch that we knew that was going to take the penalty kicks as well. From my own experience, I think it's very important when you're about to take a penalty kick, don't rush it. That's what I shared with the players. It's like, okay, it's an important moment. You're going to start breathing. It's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of tension there. Put the ball down, go back, and don't take it too quickly. Was my advice from own experience, because you got to get your heart rate down by breathing. You got to focus on where you're going to take it. Depends on if you are a player who knows where he's going to take it. But there are also players who are waiting for the goalkeeper. And I wanted that to be clear. So you're either one or the other, and do that and don't change. So in that sense, it's clear. And then you can always score, you can always miss, but it gives you the best option to score. And in that sense, we did well. Number 5 was Silva. El Ghazi scored the 4th one. And that gave us the cup win. Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, what it's like in a cup final with the half of the stadium filled with your own crowd, and of course, it's such an important final in the end. Final are always important, but especially against your rivals, to be able to win it in a really tense situation through penalty kicks. Of course, it's a great thing, and you realize that with the people, with the coaching staff and all the staff members, I was really proud, to be able to be part of that and share it with the players, especially Joël Drommel, the goalkeeper, who I trusted and confidence. My confidence in him was really high. Of course, the media was speculating that I was risking the trophy that we were able to win, but he did fantastic. He made a difference in the cup tournament and also in the penalty shootout, where he stopped Alvarez's penalty, and was basically the hero of the penalty shootout. So it was a special moment to celebrate that with him.